1, 2, 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Say something, Scott.
Something, Scott.
Okay. I think we're live again. 8 minutes. Shat down the fucking toilet.
Do you got to do the intro again?
Yep, got to do everything again.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that I can just fuck all this up. Well, hey guys, what's going on here? River Sullivan coming at you right here. Pre-recorded for your live listening pleasure. And guess what, mofos? I'm back! Yes! We're bringing it up a notch because I'm back out of quarantine. Like, we just didn't have to record this for a second time.
You sound a little bit more angry than you did the first time.
A little bit. Okay, we're back. I'm back. I am your host, River Sullivan. And with me here, yet again, finally, after our 2-week hiatus of my bitch-ass being in quarantine, my friend, the silver fox of sultry sippings of coffee, Scott! Hello, Scott. What's up?
I'm great.
Yes. Man, the waveform is terribly spiking right here, and this is fantastic. But speaking of fantastic, we're going to talk a little bit about the coffee here that we're drinking here this week. A little bit of a delectable treat that the old lady brought me from Lexington, Kentucky. A little thing called Kentucky Nose, spelled K-N-O-W-S. Had a lot of foamy spit there. We'll work on that. Kentucky Nose is a bourbon-flavored, bourbon-inspired, bourbon-infused coffee. Straight from the heart of Lexington. This coffee is steeped. And by steeped, I mean the dry beans, the roasted beans, they sleep in Buffalo Trace bourbon barrels. And so over time, they absorb some of that sweet, delectable Buffalo Trace bourbon flavor. So Scott, having never tried this coffee before, what are your thoughts?
This is obviously number one. Sorry, Neebs, but
yeah. We were both
this is amazing.
The sound, mind, and opinion. This coffee is better. It has dethroned the Neebs coffee. Yep, sorry, Neebs. Sorry, Player One Coffee. You have been defeated.
Still great coffee, but this is...
It is. It's wonderful.
This is something special right here.
It's got a little splash of bourbon in there, just a hint, a little slap and tickle that lets you know it's there. And I said slap and tickle.
Just the pure depth of flavor.
Just so... The depth is so deep. So deep.
Of the black coffee.
The blackness of this coffee is unheard of, unseen since times untold. I don't even know what that means.
It means it's good.
Yes, it is delicious, and I'm only really 1 cup into it, and it's really getting to me, and I'm loving this. It feels so good. This coffee's McDonald's. I'm loving it. But anyway, moving on here, guys. It is that time here yet again. I know that we gave you a little bit of a break here for the last 2 weeks of me doing some bullshit live streams of some video games. If you guys didn't follow the channel on YouTube, that's where I was able to keep uploads at. So for those of you listening on Spotter and Sounder and Stitcher, and I said Spotter, Spotify, iTunes, iHeart Radio, all that, go on over to This Evening Tonight on YouTube to see what you missed there. Good little 1-hour episodes of me looking like a complete and total buffoon, because I'm apparently very terrible at video games. But had to keep the algorithm happy. But again, it is that time here. But since we're running a slightly late upload schedule, these numbers that you're about to get for your weekly COVID Corona 1-9er worldwide update from the Johns Hopkins Tracking Coronavirus Resource Center. They're only going to be about a day behind, so you'll have some more accurate numbers coming from us here today. So as it stands, we are total confirmed cases worldwide 8,084,396, with global deaths sitting at 438,399. We're getting up there in numbers, but overall, I mean, 8 million versus 8 billion is where we're at with the population, aren't we? Is it 7 billion or 8 billion?
Sure. I don't know.
You weren't even paying attention.
Listen, I haven't...
You were staring deeply into a coffee mug that is empty.
You hit it right on the head.
You had the index finger on your lower lip.
It's like, man, it'd be really awesome if I had some more of that.
I mean, I think there's a dribble left in the French press.
Nah, I'm good. I haven't paid attention to those numbers in how long?
Yeah.
Just because locally our numbers haven't really fluctuated that much.
Well, this is the thing. I know everybody's gotten to the point where, like, I'm tired of this COVID. I'm tired of looking at it. I'm tired of talking to it. Get the fuck out of my store, you know?
Right on.
I just want us to be apprised of the numbers. That's why we try to keep this short and sweet, and we'll just move right on from that.
I get it.
But all right. So at the U.S., we're at 2,123,124 total confirmed cases, with our global death rating at 116,526. The curve is still somewhat starting to flatten because on the scale of which all the testing we've done, the curve is not very significantly changing if you're looking at the actual algorithm of the map. But I think we're getting there. But also, I don't think we're getting there on the other side of the coin because of the bullshit that has been going on in this country now, nay, the world. And that's all for the numbers. So, okay. 2020. We are halfway through it. I mean, it's the 16th of June. I mean, we're pretty much at the exact definition of halfway through this year. And this year, to sum it up lightly, has been a boxing match slugfest of just two guys standing face to face, right hook, left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook, left hook. That's all this year has felt like. So this time, this week, this day, this current second, as to what it is we got going on here. Pretty much overnight, in the last few days, the nation and almost the entire world has completely and utterly turned their backs and turned all their anger towards law enforcement. Thoughts, Scott?
You know my thoughts. I've moved beyond anger into disappointment. I mean, I was already kind of frustrated with the general public anyways. And this kind of throws a little more on the pile.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Really, we're, for the most part, past anger. For the most part, there's still a little bit left. But it's borderline despair is what we're moving towards because halfway through the year, halfway through 2020, and this is just...
And I'm not a prophet, but I really don't think it's over with. Like, this is not the worst we've seen.
No. But okay, here's my thing, right? So we were talking about it earlier, not on the show, but pretty much offline. You have things in this world that provided transparency, an inside look into law enforcement, known as the TV shows, Cops, Live PD, and I guess the most recent victim now is Paw Patrol. We'll get into that later. But Live PD, in my opinion, better than the show Cops. And it also provided the most in-depth transparency into law enforcement and how they operate, how they do their jobs, and the blatant professionalism and all the crap that they have to put up with on a daily basis every day. They have to be fair, firm, and consistent at every stop. And that show showed it. Okay? And that was the best part, though. The show was live. Give or take whatever delay they had through the satellites and whatnot. But they canceled it. A&E canceled it out of a knee-jerk reaction. Because why? Well, we hate cops. Oh, okay. Well, we should probably cancel that show then. Are you kidding me?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't understand how overnight, based on one incident, or I guess there's two or three now, that almost the whole entire American public and the world could, just suddenly reverse course and like, these guys are completely bad.
Well, see, okay, so.
And just to take it to the level of canceling children's programs, I mean, does that make any sense?
Yeah, apparently they canceled Paw Patrol because, was it the German Shepherd was the cop in it?
Chase.
Yeah, Chase. And
not that I've watched it.
And it was canceled on the grounds that people were either writing the show, whatever network carried them, stating that, you can't have this because you don't want a kid to grow up wanting to be a cop. You don't want a kid growing up wanting to have anything to do with law enforcement. Because now law enforcement is being literally vilified.
I mean, God forbid he'd want to do something to serve the general public.
Yeah.
Something selfless.
But see, here's the thing, though. There are bad cops out there. Hands down there are. Like, I've worked around law enforcement. I've worked with law enforcement at some point in my life. And you know what? There are bad ones. Seen them.
Yeah, I think we've all had those encounters.
Okay? But for whatever reason, it's always the asshats that get 10 million cell phones on them. There's all sorts of feel-goods out there. You see cops playing basketball with, like, the youth of the neighborhood that they're responsible for, you know, reaching out, community outreach programs. Like, whether or not it's even a program, I don't know. Just they're out there doing something. Good. But that doesn't grab the headlines, you know, that it doesn't
Make the money.
Doesn't sizzle.
Doesn't make the money. It doesn't further the narrative.
But also in the same turn, with those bad ones out there, okay, and there are some real McAsshole ones out there, I completely agree that they need to be gone. You do something messed up, go outside the scope of your authority and your employment, and go over the top and violate your use of force, especially to the general public, yeah, you could, should, probably need to be fried for it. Because this is the thing that I know about law enforcement. I was a military cop for a while. You have to be that fair, firm, and consistent all the time. No matter what the call is, you could have just gone back from a domestic where some dude beat his wife within an inch of his life and you get to haul him off to jail. But then after that, it's over. And you have to be able to learn to carry that burden to move on to the next call and treat it completely differently and take it on fresh. That's one thing a lot of people I know in the general public, I don't know if they understand or they just don't care. These cops every day for years and decades, if their career, have to deal with that every day. And people will get mad when the cop goes above and beyond what he's supposed to do in a bad way, and God forbid somebody gets killed. But don't make this armchair general shot. Well, he shouldn't have done that. He should have shot him in the leg. He should have done this. He should have done that. We can armchair general all day. Yeah, I've heard that. I heard you should have shot him in the leg. Like, come on. Okay, you have to put yourself in their shoes of, they do this every day for a living. Yes, they chose that as their profession. Okay, but when people talk about that higher calling, to me what that is, you feel that higher calling or you want that duty and honor to serve, that's you looking at a contract and you actually took the time to read the fine print. Side effects of this job may include divorce, obesity, alcoholism, potential drug abuse, domestic violence. That's the risk that a lot of these law enforcement officers, when they sign up, they're at risk for all of that, not just the things in their job. Those jobs can get to people that have been in for one day or right ready for retirement. Okay. Anything can happen to a law enforcement official there that they've years and years and decades have been putting up with that and trying to cope with everything that they've seen and had to do in the line of duty. And it's maybe it's because I know how it operates and most people out there don't. But I understand that, and that's where I go, I don't know how to word this.
Yeah, words, it's so stupefying, like the environment we're in right now. You know, and you know me, I'm a big freedom and rights guy. You know, freedom-loving American. I don't like authorities telling me what I can and can't do. But it is essential service, whether you want to believe that or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think there is a disconnect between the general public and law enforcement.
Have you ever seen the segments where they put people in the police's shoes in those shoot-no-shoot scenarios?
We do need a lot more of that. We probably do need some more community-oriented policing and relations. But I think what people fail to realize, and I do believe law enforcement should be held to a higher standard. There probably should be higher penalties for crimes committed by law enforcement. At the same time, keep in mind that law enforcement are just people. You know, they're not superheroes. They're just people. Like any other occupation, you know, people are imperfect. You know, you can't just make a blanket statement saying, well, the general public doesn't understand the law enforcement world. But at the same time, they really don't. Like, you know, that's why you get statements like shoot him in the leg.
Mm-hmm.
So these are people. They just want to, a lot of times, they just want to go home alive. That's all.
Yeah. They want to do their job. A lot of these cops, they want to serve the general public, to protect and serve.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's been all about. And where I say that I really wish we could put more people in their shoes to help them understand the things that are involved with that profession. It's extremely hard to do right now in this day and age, not just because the logistical aspect of getting everybody that's never been a cop or anything, all they know is what they've seen on TV or whatever, and their experiences with a bad cop, to help rectify that, to help show the optics of truly how good law enforcement is for the most part, for the largest part. Law enforcement officers are inherently good, trying to do the right thing, trying to abide by that to protect and serve their community. The day and age that we're in right now, mainly this fucking year, is there's so much noise. There's so much bullshit going on. Every month it's something new. I mean, how did we start off the year? Australia was on fire. I think that was the one.
Yeah.
And then we had like World War III getting teased, and
some other stuff happened.
Because the virus went on for a few months, and I mean, it's just then there's rioting and looting and the protests. Don't get me wrong. If you're protesting, if you're a protester out there, you protest for the right reasons. If you have a cause that is good and just, and you're trying to enact change, fucking enact the shit out of it.
I mean,
But real quick, okay, here's my thing. If you're out there, like all the protesting going on, everybody with both of these shootings, with like George Floyd, okay, I understand that they said that's bad, and looking at it, the dude was leaning on his neck. Yeah, no bueno. No good at all, okay? That guy went way too far. Not defending it. If you want to enact the change, you enact the change. But all everybody wants to do is hold up a sign, march down the street, yell a bunch, and what happens? Something else comes along and we move on, okay? So then there's other people that want to really enact that change, but they don't know how. And you got people burning shit and breaking shit, okay? It doesn't get anything done. If you want to stay the course and enact the change, you have to do it through your proper channels, okay? So if you want to change law enforcement, you have to start petitioning your lawmakers, really is what it comes down to. Yes, the public pressure has worked for certain things, like getting the Seattle Police Department to have that precinct get evacuated for that 6-block autonomous zone that we got going on right now. And then, because of all the pressure, the mayor of Seattle, I guess, disarmed the rest of the police departments, all of their less lethal munitions. Disarmed them. Like, you're not allowed to use it. No tear gas, no nothing. No pepper spray, no nothing. So what does that leave them? That leaves them with the lethal option. That leaves them with a lethal option, maybe a baton, maybe an asp, I don't know. So you've stripped them away of their less lethal options because of public pressure, because everybody's in a frenzy. So now you've taken your law enforcement officers, the people there that are designed to protect and serve their communities, the ways to effectively subdue them. So you can't use your pepper spray, you can't use a taser, you can't use tear gas. You're now, what is it, just federally enacted today? Trump signed an executive order banning the chokehold. So now you're taking off physical self-defense tactics that they're not allowed to use, all because of public pressure. And don't get me wrong, I do believe some of this is steps in the right direction. I don't believe in disarming a police department because, wow, okay, the chokehold, yeah, I get it. That should not be a go-to. That should not be your go-to move. Hey, this guy's drunk. Like, no. And they did it right. The chokehold is banned on the federal level for all law enforcement agencies, with the exception of when the officer's life is in imminent danger of serious, like, grave bodily harm. Like, dude's about to get killed. I need to grab a hold of this guy that's trying to kill him. I got to use the chokehold. That's the way they're viewing it now. And that happened the date of this recording about an hour and a half ago. Trump came out on the Rose Garden and gave his little brief and signed his executive order. But so all this frenzy and all that, so we've gotten all these changes have been done. Hey, we've canceled a bunch of shows. Cool. We got a chokehold ban. Sweet. Keeps assholes that want to use the wrong move the wrong way at the wrong time. Keeps them from doing that. Okay. A little bit of positivity there. But instead, Everybody wants to protest. Yeah, you'll get yourself on the news. You might have a photo taken of you. Everybody knows. Everybody knows these protests are going on. Everybody knows that there's bad cops out there doing stupid shit. What is that going to accomplish?
But this is my thing. Like the amount of bad officers is probably highly exaggerated. Like it's not as widespread as what people might make it seem.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my experience. That's how I can speak for.
I mean, and I hear myself talking. I know that I'm getting spun up over this.
Yeah.
Because how many times do we talk about on the show? We're all people first. All of a sudden, everybody's all divided. Everybody's all fighting.
I believe it's intentional. I believe there's some groups, of which I have no idea, this is purely speculation, that are using these protests as cover to destabilize our country.
It's definitely, if it is, then it's definitely working.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the scary and discouraging part. Like, I don't understand this. Like, if you think that law enforcement is so bad, like that it needs fixed or done away with, why don't you just become law enforcement yourself and set the example?
Was it Mahatma Gandhi? Be the change you wish to see in the world.
Like,
you want to change it, you change it from the inside.
You're either gonna change it, or you're gonna realize what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, positive outcome.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't understand the logic. You can argue, well, this occupation that we're talking about has a lot of authority and control over people's lives, which I do get that. Like, trust me, I understand. I'm all about freedom and, people having control of their lives. But at the same time, so do doctors. So you have, doctors get sued all the time for malpractice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be like me having one botched surgery and like just saying all doctors are horrible and just going up to them and punching everyone in the face that I see.
Don't trust them. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to get rid of the medical system. Doctors don't work. Like and just the sheer amount of people that are on board with this is just like,
it's staggering.
And it's got to the point where like you cannot say anything remotely outside of that narrative without getting attacked.
Yeah, I was going to say, you say anything outside the narrative, you're a target.
What happened to this being American? Like, you can have your own opinion, even if it is something you disagree with or you think may be biased. So what? Like I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people preach about your First Amendment rights.
What happened to tolerance?
Yeah, I'm getting to that because there's a lot of people I see with the protests and everything, or just about hell, it doesn't even have to be a protest. Somebody has any kind of opinion and they're trying to voice their opinion and they act like they want to be in a debate with you over it.
Uh-huh.
And then you voice your opinion. But if it's different, then you're just straight up attacked. Whether it be like verbally, well, you're just fucking stupid.
And it's getting to the point where you're
that's just my
attacked.
that's my and physically attacked, yeah. But that's the thing. I don't understand what happened to that when we used to be able to disagree like adults and go, well, I mean, I'm going to try to change your mind on it. I'm going to try to change your mind on it too because we have varying opinions and we don't reach that agreement. And we didn't change anyone's opinion. We're like, well, I guess we agree to disagree then.
Mm-hmm.
You're just one person. I'm just one person. But we can't do that anymore, and I don't know why. I mean, I have a theory, and my theory
I've got a lot of theories,
has been, I'm just saying, in the way that this year has been panning out, halfway through the year, and 2020 has just been like, it's like a speed metal concert. Like it's just nobody, but the band isn't taking any breaks, and it's just the same song. We've been stuck on the fucking solo forever, and then we're just drums, just everything's just exploding. And everybody's just yelling and screaming, and you can't even really even hear the music anymore. It's just so loud and just, we need, as a people, as a species, human species, we have to be able to stop and take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody wants to do that. Everybody's rallying their flag or their banner to whatever their cause. And it's not just all the stuff that's been going on, not just the Black Lives Matter stuff. I mean, that whole Chaz thing going on, there's multiple causes sitting in there. I mean, you got Black Lives Matter, you got Antifa, then you got like the guys on the right and the guys on the left and the guys, whatever, North versus South, I don't know. But there's some, it's not even sides anymore, it's facets.
Factions.
Yeah. And everybody's rallying a banner to their cause for some greater good purpose that they see in their eye. But if I see a cause going on and I don't understand it, we're at the point now as a people where if I go, well, I don't get it, why are you doing that? They just get mad.
Yeah.
They don't take the time to explain, like, well, this is why we're doing X, because Y and Z. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Thank you, group that is fighting for this cause. No, it's, you shouldn't fucking know.
You're part of the problem because you don't understand it.
See, okay, right there. I've always heard the phrase, you're either a part of the problem or you're part of the solution. So we have a problem. Okay. You got a few.
What if we don't agree that the problem is the same thing? You know?
I mean, universally, I think we can agree that the few shitbag cops out there, you know, the real shitbags, shouldn't be in law enforcement. I'm pretty sure if I went
I think that's a
and asked
thing.
if I had one question to ask the world and then they could vote on it, I think everybody would say yes. Is this
Absolutely.
a problem? I'm not saying is this the number one problem. If I just went, hey, is having bad cops bad? I'm pretty sure everybody would say yes. Okay? So right there we have a baseline for the common problem. The solution is what's been this spectrum, which, don't get me wrong, I like that. It's not 2 + 2 = 4. It's problem, and then you have a multi-section solution because we're all different. We're all people. I disagree with the let's violently protest, let's loot and burn and rip and tear because we're mad, because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these stupid cops. Okay, be sick of it. But you're not going to, that makes you more of a problem because when you add a problem like rioting and looting and burning to the already shit problem of having those few bad cops out there, when you add a problem plus a problem, it's not two negatives. It doesn't cancel itself out.
To me, it destroys your credibility.
It does. So, don't get me wrong, and I'm certain it's happening. There are people actively out there looking for solutions. Like just as an example today, was it Albuquerque? The Albuquerque Police Department is looking at establishing a new section. I don't know if I believe it's, I guess runs concurrently or runs parallel with their police department. And they ran it, the Milwaukee police chief ran it past his officers, and they were all for it. Because these guys are going to handle like a lot of the domestic issue disputes. Like it's going to be like social workers and stuff like that working side by side with the police. Like if they have to go out for a guy that feels suicidal, right? I mean, what happens nowadays? Somebody feels suicidal, you see a guy on a building about to jump, you're going to call 911. They're going to send the fire department and the cops and maybe like a hostage negotiator guy with people skills that's working for the police. He's going to go talk to him. Now they're talking about, you see that same guy getting ready to jump off a building in Albuquerque or whatever, and you call, and they go, hey, we got this guy getting ready to jump. Yeah, I'm certain they're going to call the fire department, but they're going to call whatever this squad or department.
Civilian counterparts, yeah.
I don't even know if they're going to be civilian. Hey guys, what's going on? River Sullivan coming at you right here, right now from the future. That little garbled noise there that you guys are hearing is apparently my audio controller is taking a dump. I'm in talks right now with Focusrite for the Scarlet hardware that I have. Unfortunately, it killed the second half here of the episode. So I sincerely apologize for that, guys. We are working tirelessly on fixing that. However, because of the substance of the show, I definitely wanted to make sure that we had this released at least as much as I could. So hopefully we'll have this here fixed. I'm standing by for Focusrite and the Scarlet people to get back to me. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We are going to have this fixed definitely by next week. Fingers crossed. But as a part for this short episode, I just want to say thank you for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to include links in the description below for the coffee. Also have as many of the timestamps as I can provide for you guys here as well. Don't forget to check out the merch store because apparently I might need some money from merchandise to buy a new audio controller. All right, guys, though, until next time, peace out.